Hi everyone. In the previous video you have studied about operator statement, and in this video we'll be studying that how to take an input from user. You have already studied that how to give command line arguments. And in this video we'll be studying that if we want to take an input from user, so what do we do about it? For taking input from user, we first need to import this file, import java.io.star semicolon. We need to import this file before taking input from user. This is the input output file. It has some classes, so that's why we'll be using this to taking input from user. In the main function we need to write this input stream reader, I capital, S capital and R capital. This is a class. This is, we have made the object of a class ISR. You can write any name here if you want. This is the initialization of this new input stream reader. You have to write a system.in, and after this you need to make object of another class buffered reader, B capital R capital. This is the object. You can write any name here, new buffered reader ISR. And while taking input from user you need to write it in try catch thing. This is the exception handling thing. We'll explain it later in Java, but we have already explained in the C++ videos. Try catch we need to write because we want user some kind of input. We want some kind of input from user, either integer, character or float or double, but if user by default enter some other input, so that's why we need to use this try catch, because an exception can be raised. And inside try we have written that enter name, and by this line we are taking an input from user br. This and this is same, br dot read line, and L will be capital. So any input taken by this is a string. So if you want to take an integer input, we need to convert it. We'll explain you it in the next program. And here I have printed the input which is entered by the user. So I'll just compile this code and show you that how this code is working. UserInput.java, then I'll run it. UserInput. See, enter name, it is asking for enter name. I have typed this, name you entered is this. I'll again run it and enter input with space. See, so it is working. What if we change it to, we will enter some input of integer like this, 5. See, name you entered is 5, so anything added to string becomes a string. If I change here int and change it to some number, but it doesn't matter, this is the variable name, and change it to number. I'll just remove all this line and type here number, just save it and again compile it. See, it is saying that the found is string but you required int. So draw line always takes a string input. What if we want to take an integer input from user? That we will be explaining in the next video, that how to take an integer input from the user. We will be doing a program which is going to do sum of two integers. We'll take two integers from user and perform their addition. So this is about the user input program. In the next video we'll be explaining that how to take an integer input from user.